the lower payment response. Well, if we get a little more money down, then...
Well, the easy way to do it, is to say, well, how would a payment of $700 a month sound to you, Caleb?
Sounds great.
Okay, I'll need another $5,000 down.
I'd rather keep it in my pocket.
Okay, don't blame you. Okay, so I tried to get more cash, and if he's already putting 7 down, chances are he may not have another 5. Now, I could go out to 84 months, I guess, possibly, but that's not going to get it down to $700 a month. Okay, but notice I'm not asking him where he wants to be. He may volunteer it, but I'm not going to ask him, because if I ask him, I'm turning over control of the negotiation to him, and he's liable to. I said, well, what would make you comfortable, Caleb?
About 450, 500.
Exactly. He gives me a dumbass answer because it's a dumbass question. Okay, that's not his fault, the customer's fault. That's my fault. So.
Well, let me ask you something. So, but if I was to say something like, well, if I was able to get you around 750, would that be more reachable for you? Would that be?
If you want to give up, multiply 50 times 72 for me. It's $3,600. You just gave up $3,600 worth of gross profit.
But if we mess around with APR, because typically whenever we go out, it's like we'll have if they're great credit, it'll be at like 599 that or 499-599. You know, so we'll have like a whole point there to kind of play with to kind of get them a little closer.
Yeah, well, a point's not going to make that $50 difference here.
Might make 25 though. At least get them to 75 to where they feel like, okay, he at least met me halfway.
I'm gonna show you a better way to do it.
Okay.
Okay. So, Caleb, if I'm hearing you correctly, in fact, I'm putting you in charge of this. Make sure that I'm in sort of centered in the picture every time. Okay. Can you make me look a little thinner and younger? No miracles today.
In editing.
In editing, okay. I hear you, Caleb. You don't want to pay $800 a month for 72 months. Now, what I'm going to say next is going to sound a little bit crazy. You are actually not going to pay $800 a month to drive this vehicle. Okay? Now, look, this vehicle is probably going to depreciate, right?
Yes, sir.
Certainly not as much as they used to, but it probably will depreciate over a 6-year period of time. Now, everybody knows that, but now what everybody doesn't know is that every single time you make a payment on this vehicle or any other vehicle for that matter, you're building cash value in that vehicle. Meaning, you're not going to pay $800 a month to drive it. Now, are you going to pay $800 every single month to Mr. Bank, whether it's Ford Motor Credit, GMAC, Huntington Bank, whatever? Yeah, you're going to pay $800 a month. That's what you're going to do. I know you don't want to, but you're not going to pay $800 a month to drive it. Now, because you think, like most people, that when you send that $800 to the bank, it's all gone. You'll never see it again, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's not the way it works. Because when you make that 72nd payment, 6 years from today, and you've got no payment at all, just dream about that for a second. What comes back to you in the mail a couple days, a couple weeks later?
Title.
And it's only got one name on that title. It's called Free and Clear. It's got your name. You own it outright. Okay, now the question I've got for you, Caleb, is this is a $47,000 vehicle. Okay? I want you to use it like you plan on using it. Don't do anything special to it. Just use it like you plan on using it. Don't crash it. Don't crash it. But what do you think it'll be worth
6 years?
in 6 years?
Possibly around 25K.
So 6 years from now, you've got no car payments, and you've got a vehicle that you own free and clear, and it's worth $25,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Got a calculator on that phone?
Yes, sir.
Divide 25,000 by 72.
It's 347.
Caleb, you know what that 347 represents?
No, sir.
Remember I told you you're going to write a check for $800 every month and send it to the bank, right?
Yes.
And you thought the bank was going to keep it all, didn't you?
That's what it felt like.
Metaphorically speaking, $347 of that payment is flowing right back to your title. So in effect, you're not paying $800 a month to drive this vehicle. You're paying $800 a month minus $347, which is $453 a month to drive a $47,000 vehicle. I need your okay right down here. Please sign and date it. Now, here's when this will not work. If the cat can't stroke a check for $800. If I've got him on too much vehicle, it will not work. But what customers are going to do to you is they're going to buy this vehicle. It'll be the most expensive vehicle they've ever bought. You're going to have an $800 a month payment, which is a decent, which is a nice payment. The interest rate at $599 or $499, that ain't a bad interest rate. And pretty soon it might be a really good interest rate. But they've never had a payment that high in their entire lives. And they're going to push back. I can't do that payment. I can't do that payment. They can do the payment. Okay? They can make the payment. They just don't want to make the payment. They want the vehicle. They don't want to make the payment. So you have to change the way they look at this payment. Is all this absolutely correct?
Yes.
It's correct. People forget that when they get done paying for the vehicle, it still has value. And hell, these days, this vehicle might be worth $30,000. 25 is probably a very conservative estimate of what that vehicle will be worth. So literally, every time you make a payment on you, you're making a payment on your car now, right? What's your payment?
$442.
What's the term?
It was 17 months.
Okay, what was the price of the vehicle when you bought it brand new?
It wasn't brand new. It was.
When we used, even better. This it works great on new, works even better on used.
It was 19 something.
$19,000. Okay, and you got $447 at 72 months.
442.
$442 at 72 months. Okay, when did you buy it?
I bought it in February of 2020.
Nice timing. So it's probably still worth $19,000 right now.
Probably.
Okay.
As much as I put into it, probably.
What do you think it will be worth 4 years from now?
Well, if it keeps going up, it'll probably be.
Well, let's assume it's not going to keep going up.
Oh,
Maybe $15,000?
probably 15.
Okay. So 4 years from now, you've got no more 442 payments because you've made your 72nd payment. Okay? That title's going to come back to you. You've got a $15,000 free and clear asset. What's 15,000 divided by 72?
208.
So, 230.
234.
Your net payment on that vehicle is $250 a month. Now, doesn't that make you feel better?
It does.
It really does. I did this with a couple of attorneys, a man and a wife. This was on a Kia several Decembers ago. I was working as a closer in the store, and they were having a problem because the payment was $505 a month. And they had never had a payment that high, so they were balking. They were, well, we don't know if we can do this. So I went over and I did this with them. And they hooked, and we bought the car. Half an hour later, I go back into the customer lounge to check out a football game, and they're back there waiting for F&I. And the guy waves me over. He's got a yellow pad of paper. He's been doing this formula on all of their installment loans. He said, Steve, you've made us feel good about everything we're buying. He goes, we think our house payment is actually a negative payment based on its depreciation. Now, not everybody is that into it. But this is a great way to get a customer who can make the payment. Again, I emphasize, if they cannot make the $800 a month payment, this will not work. Okay, but if they're just giving you pushback, If they just want a $750 a month payment, because it would be $50 a month less, use this. Because what's easier to say yes to? $500 or $400 or $453 a month, or $800 a month? 453. And then if I have to, I'll reduce it to the ridiculous. What's reduced to the ridiculous?
You divide the difference by the 4 weeks and
4 weeks, 30 days.
I love that one.
Oh, it's the oldest. I mean, it's been around since Jesus. Okay, reduce it to the ridiculous. I don't want to make an $800 a month payment. Okay, would you make a $700 a month payment? Yeah, I would. So we're $100 apart. Yeah, we are. What's keeping you from driving the vehicle of your dreams? That's $100 a month. Okay? Well, are you going to let $100 a month stop you? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, I don't blame you. Would you let $25 a week stop you from driving the vehicle of your dreams?
Yes.
12.4.
Would you let $3.33 a day stop you from driving the vehicle? Truly.
No.
You see where I'm going here, though.
Yeah.
What's easier to say yes to? 800 or 100? 100. 100 or 25? 25. 25 or $3.33? $3.33. The whole idea of the best closers in the business are the ones that make it easier for the customer to say yes. You guys have got a built-in advantage here, because there is no risk when I buy a vehicle that's got 80,000 miles or less for a new vehicle here, is there? Because within the first 3 days, what can I do?
Take it back.
I can bring it back, or I can exchange it. Okay, that's a beautiful thing. That gives me tremendous freedom as a consumer. All right, that's a huge one. I would bring that up at meet and greet. I'd bring it up right before I presented the numbers. I would bring it up if I was trying to close them. I'd say, hey, you got nothing to worry about here, Kim. You don't need to think about anything. In fact, I tell you what, here's a great way to think about it. Drive the son of a gun for 3 days. Think about it during those 3 days. If it turns out it's not right for you, bring it on back. We'll put you in another one. Or if you want your money back, we'll give you your money back. Just don't register it. Is that what we have to say? Just don't register it.
Make sure you say that.
Yeah.
Because if they register it and then they're like, no, it's too late.
Yeah, although even that, it used to be when you registered a vehicle, it became quickly a used vehicle and it depreciated dramatically. Now I see a lot of used vehicles going for more than the new vehicles are going for. Same year, make, model. Just because you could get more. Okay? Does this make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may quit. And by the way, you're a fine